Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to VIP Playbook, your home for sports betting and fantasy picks with your host, Mike Hammer and Will Zeven. How you doing today, Will?
Doing good. How you doing? What a Super Bowl.
Wow. I hate to say this, but that might have been the best Super Bowl I've ever seen.
It was a good ending. Glad that it came around there. It was kind of a snooze for a bit.
I was about to say it was kind of boring, but the way that Patrick Mahomes came back again, just like he always does, was absolutely mind-blowing. And I can't believe I've had my mind blown again. We should just expect it. It's what happens.
Usher really pulled us back in, I got to say. What a performance.
Not a huge Usher fan, but I was a fan of the halftime show.
Luda. What do you think of Luda?
Oh, yeah, that was great.
Good to see him back in there.
That was good. Looking at that game, now, I guess in fantasy, we'll start there. What, did you have to have both kickers in order to hit a big one in that one?
Having both kickers was nice. FanDuel Optimal had both kicks. Mahomes, McCaffrey, and third and one Jennings.
Wow. I've never heard that. That's good.
That's his nickname.
Okay. And you had Money Moody get an extra point blocked, which could have been the ending of the game right there. That could have been the difference.
It was huge. Special teams always is.
But that's what happens, against the Ravens. They fumble at the 1 yard line. They get the taunting call. Lamar Jackson throws. It's magic. It's Mahomes.
You've called it. Mahomes
and
magic.
KC magic. It just doesn't happen for everybody, folks. It does not happen for everybody, but it happens for him and the Chiefs. I actually had the game. I took the Chiefs because, what can I say? I always bet on the Chiefs now that I've been burned many times.
You can't bet against him. It'll cost you. It'll cost you money. You bet against Mahomes, it'll cost you money. That's how it goes. So let's get into some NBA now. This NFL season's kind of over. I mean, you want to still talk some of that game? Or?
No, it's done and over. It's in the past. We're moving on to the NBA. We'll look forward to next football season, and we'll talk about that as it comes up. But right now, we're in the middle of a really dynamic NBA season. My team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, are currently in second place in the West, and I've been picking these games since the beginning of the season. I've got a very good percentage going. We're making money. We're giving picks, and that's what we're doing here. If you guys don't know us, and you probably don't, we win. We give good picks, and you'll see that. Follow us.
You kind of hit the totals, the money lines, the props, and I'll come in with a little fantasy, huh? Little DVS.
All of it. We're going to cover all of it right here, right now. We're going to cover NBA bets, overs, unders, which side to pick, which side to play. We'll hit the player props, and Will is your fantasy guru here. Who this guy just rakes when it comes to fantasy. I've never seen anything like it. So if you do fantasy and you do like sports betting, we're the guys for you.
Appreciate that, man.
No problem. I've seen it in action, and I can't wait to hear your picks for tomorrow's slate, or today's slate. I guess it's after midnight.
It's an 11-game slate. It's a fun one. NBA 11-gamers are always toasty out there.
Well, so should we? That's what we should probably start with. Let's get right to it. Let's hear some fantasy for tomorrow's slate. 11 games, February 12th. Let's hear it.
All right. Well, thank you. Jeez, what a crowd out there.
Well, hey, what can I say? We're excited.
Okay, so let's get right to it. Opening game here. What do we got? We got Pacers, Hornets. That's going to be a tough bet.
I won't be picking that game.
11-5
Just laying that out there.
Okay, so Pacers, you've always got Halliburton out there. And I mean, I really don't see much. I mean, like we're talking, this is an 11-game slate. There's lots out there. I'm not gonna go over everything. I'm not gonna dig deep into any of these ever. I'm gonna basically give. And this one might be a little longer than normal because I want you to know my style of play. If you're here for cash games, I'll give a couple of those, some cash game plays, but I want to give you those tourney picks that are going to win you the big. If the stars align, you're taking the big one down. You guys know what I'm talking about. And a guy like Halliburton is a guy you might want. There's a couple of spin-ups here. He's one of them if he's in. Now, you're going to have to watch the news on that. Also, that's going to affect that's going to affect some minutes. The minutes are pretty spread out. That's why I'm kind of sticking away from the Pacers here. Turner, he could smash if he gets a lot of minutes. McConnell, if he gets hot early, that could be a nice tourney play. And I'm going to go ahead and move along to the other side. The Hornets, I see a couple of guys low owned. They could go low owned here. Miles Bridges, Brandon Miller, both those guys. I'm leaning more towards Bridges. He's their guy, but once again, there's going to be some news you're going to have to look at in these games. Melo, Martin, those guys are out. Then I'm just all in on Bridges. I might have some pieces of Miller in there. Trey Mann, just acquired piece from our Thunder. I hated to lose him, by the way.
I didn't mind.
You didn't mind?
Well, no.
I mean,
I didn't think that Trey Mann really offered the Oklahoma City Thunder a whole lot, other than because of what I mean, where's he going to play? Whose minutes is he going to take?
Just some depth, just some good depth. If he really meshed along the end of the season, I could see him needing him in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's a G League player for the Thunder. That's all I got to say.
All right. So no man for Hambone here. Okay, moving on. The Sixers, of course, we've got Embiid out. Maxey, I mean, another thing. I appreciated the compliments there from my co-host here. I am a decent fantasy player. I've been out of the game. My picks will become more solid as we get along here, but you can't go wrong with Maxey right now. He's just getting the minutes. He's going to smash. Once again, I don't know if that's going to be the tourney play that wins it for you. There's a lot of ways to spin up here. He might be one if you want to get in there. A cash play, Harris, he's going to be safe. He is in a tough spot. But the picks I'm wanting to give you are Buddy and Paul Reed. Both those guys kind of heels a little high. Heels a little high here. Paul Reed, if he gets the minutes here, he could. And watch Bamba. Make sure Bamba's out if you're going to play Reed. The other side, Cleveland, they just play too slow. Everyone's back. I mean, Mitchell's in play. He's a good spin-up, but Garland, Allen, all those guys, they're just priced about right. I wouldn't want to go there. I just wouldn't want to go there. And then you want to take any picks here?
I actually am going to be playing that game. I will be taking that game. That's my first pick of the day. Cleveland Cavs plus minus 9.5 is where it opened. I tell you why I like that game, because Philadelphia is absolutely pathetic without Joel Embiid. They've lost 5 of 6, and also the Cleveland Cavaliers have won. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think 16 of 17. They've been blowing people out. They've been winning close games. They are a team to be reckoned with in the East. They've got the Sixers at home, and I think they easily win this game. So lock that one in. Cavs minus 9.5.
And see if you feel that, and that's a strong play on this, because Maxey is going to be a nice fade on this slate. It's going to allow you to go somewhere else And if you're feeling the Cavs here by 9.5, you're going to want to avoid Maxey, in my opinion. And you're going to want to avoid all Sixers, as a matter of fact. Sorry to throw that in there, Hambo. Just not to interrupt.
I hate to ruin your picks there, but that's my first pick. So I don't know that that's going to happen, but I've been winning lately, and I've got, I think, 5 picks here for you. So I believe at least 3 of my picks will be solid. Yeah. And actually, that's my first one because I actually 3-starred that one. That's a big line, especially looking at the Sixers. But I'm telling you, man, the Cavs are legit. They're very good. They're deep. And look, we're looking at a team that's just totally different without Joel Embiid. They don't have. They're still
MVP.
Trying to find they don't even know how to play without him. They don't even know what to do. Now, don't get me wrong. Tyrese Maxey is an absolute stud.
That's pretty much how they play. Maxey takes it, and that's why it's a tough fade. But in my opinion, if you're taking these are the plays you need to make if you want to win big in fantasy. And hearing this from my co-host here, I'm fading Maxey all day tomorrow. That's my play.
Okay, we'll check it out. Moving on here, I'm going to go ahead and maybe we could skip around, and then you can give me your ideas in this game. I'm going to go to my second pick real quick since we're on that, and then which is going to be the Denver Nuggets versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, the Milwaukee Bucks are playing this one at home. I believe everybody will play except for Chris Middleton.
That's right. Middleton's going to be out.
Okay. Here's the deal. I can't pick a winner in this game. This one's too close to call. But ever since Doc Rivers has showed up to the Milwaukee Bucks sideline, they've played a lot better defense. And I think this turns into a little bit of a defensive game. I like the game to stay under 232.5. Lock that in.
He's locking an under. Nobody likes an under, but hey.
This is a defensive ball game. I'm just letting you guys know right now.
And that fits
This is what I do.
Yeah.
I do NBA. I make picks. I'm informed. I may not throw all these crazy numbers at you, but I'm telling you right now, lock in the under the total, 232.5, Denver, Milwaukee.
And if fantasy-wise, I'm thinking Pope and Porter Jr., they're both kind of, one, you're going to have to see if those guys are out. There's some plays on Denver, even in a low score. If this does go under, I still, the ball just feeds right through Jamal and Jokic. I mean, Jokic, he's a $12K spend up. And these prices I'm giving you, by the way, they're FanDuel. I know, and I do DraftKings as well, but FanDuel's always been my bread and butter. So you can kind of swing both ways on this one. Jokic is always, he's always out there as a spend up, but I'm still, I really had nobody in. If Pope and Porter are both out, I've got Peyton Watson as the best value play, maybe on the slate. One of them at least. But I've got nobody. Middleton,
Middleton's out.
Middleton's out. And they are playing. If Jay Crowder starts, he's a good value play as well. They're just playing a massive minutes. Beasley, always one of my go-to guys. Won a big tourney with him early, and if the guy always has a ceiling if he can hit his shots. In fact, Pope's kind of the same way. So KCP, that is. So
on another note on that game, just to have a feeling that this is kind of a game that I think Giannis goes off in. And I don't know if, and I'm not a huge fantasy guy. I'm just saying that to me, this is a game that Giannis kind of
takes over.
Going up against Jokic likes to.
Not Dame, huh? No, I'm
what's
with
funny
you
is
because Giannis is the guy right here. He's going to be there's a lot. It's an 11-game slate. Fantasy wise, it's hard to spend up on guys like that, and he's going to be a lower-owned stud. What's your feeling on? Why are you feeling that?
If I was playing a lineup tomorrow, I'd probably have Giannis in it.
And why are you feeling that though? It could be the play that wins it. He's going to be
You know, a lot of this stuff that I do, Will, is just based on my feeling. And a lot of people might not like that. But we'll just have to see. But a lot of times I get a feeling, and I like to
tell me
ride
about
that.
that feeling. What kind of a feeling is that?
I don't want to go that far into it, but
It's a nice feeling though, huh? Is this in the gut? Is this in the
yes.
Okay.
Enough said.
Enough said.
Okay. Next game I would like to go into, we could discuss, is going to be the Jazz and the Warriors. Now,
That's a late game?
that is a late game.
I love late games. Love hitting the late games.
Well, this game to me is going to be really interesting. Now, the Jazz have they're a home winning team. They are very good at home. They have the last 2 home games, they've beaten the Milwaukee Bucks and the Oklahoma City Thunder, both of which I have watched, both of which, when the Jazz are playing, those teams, they look like one of the best teams in the league. They can't miss shots. They play good they play good defense on the 3-point on the 3-point line, and they hit their shots. But let me tell you, the Golden State Warriors are on an absolute heater, and this is another type of feeling thing I like to play. But when teams are on heaters, I bet them until they burn me. And I'm telling you right now, I'm betting, even though the Jazz are a good home team, the Golden State Warriors are on a heater, and I'm playing them they are getting 1.5 points. This game will probably be high scoring. I'm not going to play the total.
What is the
but
total? Can we get that?
The total is, I have it here. Sorry, I should have had that.
No. Our guy's not in. Jalen's
That's
our
all
guy,
right.
by the
That's
way,
all right.
folks.
Our technical guy. So the over's 242 and a half. Our technical guy had to go to bed. But our the over-under is 242 and a half. And it, you know what? It'll probably be over.
And I got to tell you, 242 and a half, you want a piece of that in fantasy. Vegas is saying there's going to be some points. Get in this game. And that leads me to... Hey,
Well, hold on 1 second before you do. I just wanted to make sure that everybody got my pick.
I think we...
That's gonna be the Warriors plus 1.5. Lock it in. That's my third pick.
Third pick. Okay, so I'm going to get right to it. Clay's just too cheap. Too cheap here. FanDuel, he's shooting guard. Now, FanDuel's got the positional. You can play pretty much every guy's you can play at 2 different spots. Clay is a shooting guard only. Can't get away from Kuminga here. He's talking about heaters. That guy's on a heater, and he's in a really good spot.
I agree.
Who else is on a heater? What's that guy's name? He's kind of new to the league, but he's okay. What is it, Steph Curry?
Yeah. Yeah,
he's
that guy.
Now, my thing on Steph on this slate is, like I said, there's a lot of big spend-ups. I'm fading Steph. I'm fading Steph in this game. I'm calling a Clay game. I think Kuminga's filling the sheet. I think Dre.
Is that just a feeling?
That is one of those feeling, and I'll tell you that feeling is deep in my loins, and that is fade Steph Curry. That's my gut call. You guys can call me out tomorrow if I'm wrong, but I'm saying high total. Steph doesn't get there. He gets, he's not having a bad game, but I think he's 9,700 tomorrow. Jalen Brunson, 9,900. I'm all over him over Steph. You play. So I'll get into breaking that down. Let's move to the other side, though. We've got the Jazz. If this game stays close, it's only staying close for Markikin. I'm always saying his name wrong. But he's a straight turning play. I love Kessler. If he starts, Sexton, Clark, their minutes are down. I'm fading Collins. So really I'm just going, I might run it back. I might go Clay, Kuminga, or Clay, Dre. Run it back with Mark. Dunn. Well, Keontae George is also a play I might like there. He's at 4.7. You're going to have to get cute somewhere. Either him or Dunn is going to have a game tomorrow night. I'm going with George. All right.
Move to your next. I have more picks. Go ahead and you move your next one, and I'll jump in if I've got one.
Okay.
I've got 2 more picks.
So kind
But
of
we'll tease those, and you got to listen if you want the. These are going to be my top picks, by the way.
Gotcha. I kind of skipped around there just to get to your pick. I want to go back to this Bulls game.
Oh, that's my next one.
Hey, it's that feeling we got going on. The Bulls, I'm always going to target the Hawks. I'm always going to target them, and it's hard spinning up at center, but Vooch is a great spin up. Vooch is a great spin up here at center. Now here's my play. You can't not like DeRozan in this spot. Drummond is risky, but could pay off. He could pay off big in this spot. On the other side, you've got to watch Hunter. And I'm cash game players. Jalen Johnson, you got to get him in your lineups. Okongo, tourney players, get that guy in. And that's really all I got on that. I just love to target the Hawks, and you got to pick someone out of that trio: Vooch, DeRozan, Kobe White. Drummond's my sneak play, though. I won't have a ton of him, but that could win you the big one. What do you got on that game?
Well, listen. Okay, and I like the way you brought up Drummond, because this is why I like the Bulls defense.
That's right.
And that's what Drummond brings you.
They're slow. They play slow. They fit his game. Don't mean to interrupt. Tell me about
it. Interrupt all you need. This is my next pick, and I think here's the thing: the Bulls will lure you in to betting against them, and then they'll come and bite you in the ass. Because
not a family show, folks.
It is. No, it is. That's about as bad as I'll get.
Okay.
Yeah. But when I say I say they're going to bite you in the ass, I mean they've bitten me in the ass. And so the Bulls, to me, tomorrow night and the Hawks. Listen, the Hawks are one of those teams. They can play with anybody, but they can lose to anybody, and they're going to. They're going to lose tomorrow to the Bulls. I like the Bulls on the money line. Okay, Bulls are plus 3.5. I'm going to take them on the money line to beat the Hawks. They beat the Hawks earlier this season at home, 118 to 113. Again, close game. Bulls came away late in that game. They came down from about 10 or 11 down and came back and won it.
And I love a good money line pick because you can really parlay that. You can throw that in with a parlay somewhere if you want to get really, really sweet, and that can be a big payoff.
Well, and so if you want to parlay that, I say take the under 236.5. That one will try and lure you into playing the over. That one is an under, another under. I like unders. I like unders. I like unders, and I like
you and
underdogs.
Me both, and it's funny because you're always kind of sweating it from the get-go.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like unders, and I like underdogs, and right here's a good little parlay for you. Take Bulls money line under 236.5.
Love it. Okay. So I'm going to, and I've skipped around, and this is about the last game I want to go over, and it's mainly just because it's if Zion's in. If Zion is in, we're talking Pelicans, Memphis. You love the Pelicans going up against Memphis here. Memphis has kind of got a squad. They've got lots of value. I'm going to just tell you, Aldama is too cheap. Vince Williams getting 40 minutes a game. Got a great role with that offense now. I love JJ. He got into foul trouble, I'm pretty sure. Once again, Pelicans. Zion, if you are in, I am playing you. You're my favorite tourney if you're playing. If you're not playing, I love Ingram. I love CJ. Jonas, I like you. Murphy, Herbert, you guys are just getting too much value. I want I want a piece of all those guys. And then, like I said, on the other side, Aldama, he's just too cheap. JJ's smashing. He's a great tourney play. And Vince Williams, 40 minutes a game. Such a role player now in this point. Got to have a piece of him. What you got?
I'm not playing that game. For some reason, the Grizzlies scare me. They've already beaten the Pelicans twice this year, but they also had John Morant in. The line on that one is the Grizzlies are getting 8.5.
See, I like that line. I like that.
And you're probably right, but
I just see this game being close, and
Do you like the Grizzlies?
I like getting 8 with them.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean,
You're
yeah,
right.
like,
No, when I
really-
first saw that, it made me start to think of Pelicans, but then I quickly came to my senses and I thought, but I can't take the Grizzlies. That's the thing. I'm too scared to take the Grizzlies. But I'm with you. If I was going to play that game, I would have to take the points.
I see. Now let me get back to another game too. That's the Knicks, New York, Houston here. Sengun is, if he's in, of course, the team runs through him. He's obviously a great play. I don't like spinning up at center. That's my thing, guys. By the way, everybody's got their things. That's my thing. You won't see me spinning up at center very often. I always like to differentiate. I always like to get contrarian. And I like to play a guy like, I think Zach Collins, a guy like just somebody, I like the Paul Reed plays. I've mentioned Drummond here. I like the plays that nobody's going to play. I like to differentiate. Sengun, if he's in, he's going to be a good play. If he's out, that opens it up for Jabari. Jabari Smith's probably my highest play here. But you got to get some guys like Brooks, Jalen Green. Everything's going to run through him if Sengun's out. Jeff Green, especially, I mean, I don't see why he's not going to start, but he's going to be great value on this slate. And once again, you've got to have some value. I'm going to go over that in just a little bit when I break down a couple lineups. But on the other side of that is my favorite spin up, and that's Jalen Brunson. I'm fading Steph. I'm playing Jalen Brunson. But you've got to check the status of Hartenstein and Sims. If they're out, it's going to be a tight rotation. Josh Hart's going to be there. Burks got hot last game. Bojan off the bench. Precious is going to be a nice play. Precious is getting all the minutes he can handle if Hart's out. So Hartenstein's out. That's it on that. You got anything on that game, Ham?
No, but I just realized I really screwed up earlier.
Okay, well, let's unscrew.
I announced that the Warriors were getting 1.5.
No, I think did you? But they're not. They are. No, are they not?
I wrote down here Warriors plus 1.5.
I think they are.
I still love the pick. No, they're not. They're favored by 1.5.
They are favored.
Yes.
Okay.
I still love the pick. I just wanted to correct myself. The Warriors are favored in this game. They're not 1.5 point underdogs. They are 1.5 point favorites. Okay. Still love it and lock it.
Okay. But you got any more picks?
The only other pick that no, I don't. Those are the, of course, I want to pick every game, but those are the ones that I'm willing to release. Cavs minus 9.5 over the Sixers. Denver Nuggets versus the Milwaukee Bucks under 232.5. The Warriors minus 1.5 at the Jazz. And then the Bulls on the money line. Underdogs plus 3.5. If you don't want to take them on the money line, definitely make that pick right there. Bulls plus 3.5. That's a winner. And under 236.5 in that game. And that will wrap it up for my picks tomorrow in the NBA.
All right. I appreciate that. And so do our listeners, I'm sure. I've given you guys a breakdown of kind of game by game. If I'm piecing together a lineup, though, like I'm going to piece one for you real quick on FanDuel, and then we'll get out of here. Like it's all day for me. I'm spending up at point guard. I'm playing Brunson. You've got Maxey and Halliburton there as spin-ups as well. Of course, you've got Steph. If you can go, I like that route. If I'm spinning up anywhere tomorrow, it's going to be point guard, and I'm going to go cheapy at the power forward unless Zion's in. I do like Wemby as a play, and I remember I mentioned JJ and Vooch, but I'm going with Bagley as a gamble. I'm going with Collins as a little. These are all dart throws, guys. I'm going with Reed. I'm going with Drummond. I'm playing Grant Williams. I'm hoping Kleber starts, and I'm playing him. I'm hoping to get some value with Jeff Green. I'm hoping to get some value with Crowder. And then I'm hoping to get some value with either Keaton, George, or Dunn. I'm going to play about 50-50 there. Poole's got a ceiling. He's cheap. Brooks is cheap. Clay's cheap. You could go back to my co-host here. You've got Mike calling out ABC. You can go with the alphabet all day. I'm playing Markikin. I'm running it back. And that's if I'm definitely running it back with Clay. I'm feeling a Clay game tomorrow. Second game back, and hopefully that can let you guys start building a lineup with a little bit of a core there. So that's all for me on tomorrow's slate. It's an 11 gamer, so those can be tough, but good luck to you.
And please join us daily. We will have picks, both fantasy and betting, every day for the NBA. And follow us, VIP Playbook. .org. You can follow us on Twitter. You can find us on TikTok. We're up and running, folks. We love doing this. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope to see you back tomorrow.
Take care, guys.